All right, everybody, what is going on? Good morning. Happy Sunday. We are moving along to a new position today, and this is a very stacked position. I feel like most years it is. I feel like this has just become a position that really churns out the special prospects. We're talking about edge rushers. We're talking about pass rushers off the edge, and it's a good collection of talent here. So much so that we're going to spend a lot of time just talking about the blue chippers and borderline blue chippers. We're going to have four guys that are currently projected to go in the top 15. And we're going to have another set projected to go in the first round. So we're going to spend most of today just talking about guys projected to go in the first round, which is not always going to happen. That's actually pretty remarkable. Now, edge rusher, I know it's not necessarily a position the Seahawks have some imminent need at, but I think that edge rusher is one of those positions that you can just kind of stack talent on top of talent, and you're not going to regret it too much. I think that edge rusher is a position that if you have the ability to add somebody really good, you should just do it and not think that hard about it if you think they fit your defense. Um, if you have too many, it's easy to trade one for good value. And honestly, I don't even know if you can have too many. Most of the time, you can't. Most of the time, you can find a way to make it work. You're going to have multiple edge rushers on the field most of the time anyway, and rotating them tightly is going to usually lead to great things. So I don't really view this as something where we don't need it, so therefore we shouldn't get it. If the opportunity arises and the Seahawks can get a great edge rusher at some point in this draft, I think they should probably, maybe not probably, but they should at least strongly consider doing it and not worry too much about the state of the roster. Uchenna Nwosu, this is probably his last year as a Seahawk, and we've redone his contract to where it wouldn't be that hard to get out from underneath it. Boye Mafe entering his final season of his rookie deal. Who knows what happens? Derek Hall has 2 years left on his deal, and I don't really know what Derek Hall is at this point. He might just be a pure pass rusher with really nothing to offer against the run. And DeMarcus Lawrence is a veteran, so he could be gone at any point after this year, and it won't be that shocking. And his contract makes it relatively easy to get out from under anyway. So I'm keeping an open mind here. Let's take a look at some of these edge rushers. We're starting at the top, and in this video, I mean that very literally, because we're going to talk about a guy that many people consider to be the best player in this draft. Not just the best edge rusher, but the best player. We're talking about Abdul Carter. Penn State Nittany Lion, 21 years old. We have very little testing data on him. He did not do arm length or hand size at the combine, did no drills at the combine either, so little bit of a mystery box here in terms of his measurables. Not so much in terms of his play, though. Of the 6 major big boards I use, 3 of them have him number 1, 3 of them have him number 2. Aggregate has him at number 2, only because I believe Cam Ward is still the number 1, and they're just obligated to put a quarterback there regardless of anything else. So last year, big breakout season, 68 tackles, 24 for loss, remarkable amount of backfield production, 12 sacks, 4 passes broken up, 2 forced fumbles, 66 PFF pressures. Now, he did get to play the extra games because Penn State was a really good team last year, but he's still generating pressure at a rate that very few other players can touch. 91.3. Previous year, he put up good numbers as well, not nearly as prolific, but still a good player. So what makes Abdul Carter tick? His get off at the snap is absolutely tremendous. His ability to go from being in his stance to rocketing across the line of scrimmage is elite. He is going to be the first guy into contact a lot. He's got speed to cover a lot of ground. He's got speed to make plays that other players can't make. He can cover some serious ground and get to where the ball is. He can win. I'm sorry, this should be win. My bad. He can win going through tackles with his actual pass rush acumen, or he can win by going around tackles with his raw speed and slipperiness. So he can win both ways. He's got bend to get around the corner. He's got that bend that you always look for with these elite edge rushers. He's got the ability to kind of get underneath the blocker, shrug around him, and just chalk up an easy win on his way to the quarterback. Got a nice little spin move as well. He can hit a spin move to throw at tackles to really keep them off guard. He moves really well in space. He's got great change of direction skills. He's going to chase down plays that other players would never have a shot at. He's got a good understanding of how to win with his hands. He's got a good understanding of how to utilize his hands to gain advantages when he's in the trenches. And this is a big pull these days, right? The off-ball linebacker experience. This is another one of those Micah Parsons types, a guy who can give you inside linebacker and edge rusher snaps. Now, Abdul Carter is, I would say, probably a better prospect than Micah Parsons was when he came out, but similar. It's the same basic idea. I think he's a little bit bigger than Parsons was. I do think he's got the size thing a little bit better, which is good because that's one of Parsons' weaknesses. But you are getting an elite edge rusher along with somebody who should be valuable in a linebacker role as well. Now, some of the issues that he's got to work through here. His arm length, I don't believe it's bad, although it didn't officially get measured. We don't know for sure at the moment. He doesn't use his length as well as he could. It feels like he doesn't really win with it as much as you would think. He doesn't extend fully into contact. Probably needs to add some muscle. He is still undersized for an edge rusher, 250 pounds. He can be over-aggressive at times, and there are going to be teams out there that know how to use that over-aggression against him. They're going to misdirect. He's going to overrun the play occasionally. I feel like he has to really go all out in order to make up for the fact that he is a little bit small. And he does need to add some pass rush moves to his bag. When you get to the pros, you're not going to always be able to win with your bend and your speed. You're going to have to find other ways to do it. So he's got to add some tricks to his bag. But this, to me, is the best player in this draft. Worthy of everything they say about him. He's got great traits. Most of his flaws can be fixed. And I think good coaching is going to make him about as good as you could hope for an edge rusher. Maybe I guess the worst you can say is that he'll never be like a Myles Garrett, somebody who's actually got that legitimate size to really, really hold up against the run. But he's going to be a destructive pass rusher in the NFL. He is my number one player in the draft. I would take him number one overall if I were in charge of the number one overall pick. I think he is the best player, and I think he has the best future. So, this is definitely one of the players that I think has basically no chance of falling to the Seahawks pick. There aren't that many of them. I think Abdul Carter is one of them. I can't imagine him getting out of the top 5, honestly. I don't know what would have had to have happened for him to not be in the top 5. Maybe he gets measured at his pro day, and it turns out he has 31-inch arms or something. That's probably what it would take. So, that is my number one. He's the best edge rusher. He's the best all-around player. And I think that if one of these top teams wants to burn their pick on a quarterback, then the teams right below are going to be very, very happy with what they pick up because of that. They're going to get the best player in the draft without having to use their top overall pick. Okay, we're going to look at one other guy in this video, the other guy who's currently ranked in the top 11, Jalon Walker, just outside the top 10, Georgia, 21 years old. This one, it's the same idea. You have a player that plays on the edge, and he plays off-ball linebacker. He can play inside or outside. So he's bringing that flexibility to the table. But how much is that going to work? Right away, you should see the issue. Jalon Walker is 6'1" and 243 pounds. He is one of the shortest edge rushers ever. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but he's also one of the lightest ever, 6th percentile. He's got very short arms. He is, this was more than enough to be an inside linebacker, right? But if you're looking at him as as an edge rusher, you have that Micah Parsons problem a little bit, where it's like, okay, I know he has some skills. I'm not saying he can't do it, but man, look at these size issues. Bottom 6th percentile. Nevertheless, every big board except Walter has him going in the first. Walter has him, excuse me, one pick outside the first. Aggregate has him going 11th overall. 2024 was a breakout year for him. 60 tackles, 11 for loss, 6.5 sacks. So, as you can see, he's not playing outside as much as a guy like Carter. He is playing a lot of reps inside. 34 pressures is still good. 73.1 PFF grade is good, but it doesn't quite scream blue chipper the way that Abdul Carter does. So, what are the benefits of Jalon Walker? He's a 2-for-1, right? He's an edge rusher and an off-ball linebacker. His burst into his rush is excellent. He's got great first step quickness. He's got great ability to get upfield at the snap. He does have some legitimate counters and moves that he can pull out. His bag of tricks is not empty. He's not one of these pass rushers that depends completely on speed. He does have a couple of things he can throw at you. He was considered one of the top locker room leaders in that Georgia locker room. And he was considered to be one of the high character guys there, somebody that people really rallied around. He's also strong enough to manhandle smaller blockers, even though he's very small himself. And he's also somebody who, as an off-ball linebacker, can work through contact and get to the ball. They're not somebody that needs to be kept clean at all times. They are capable of working through traffic and finding the ball carrier using their shed skills. So he's bringing something nice to the table in both areas. The thing I'm thinking about here is that he's also got some pretty clear weaknesses on both ends of it. He's very, very small compared to other edge rushers. Like I said, this is going to be something. I don't know if it's going to be a huge problem. It'll be some kind of a problem. His instincts and his the cerebral part of playing linebacker hasn't fully gotten there yet, I think. So I think that as an edge rusher, he lacks size, and as a linebacker, he lacks experience. He'll get experience eventually. He'll never get size. He's grown. And he doesn't really have a lot of bend either, honestly. He doesn't really win with bend. He wins with moves, and he wins with, oddly enough, strength, which may not work that well in the NFL. So I see holes here on both sides with Jalon Walker personally. So I view him as obviously there's good value here because he's giving you good stuff as an edge rusher and good stuff as an inside linebacker, but I don't think he has star potential on either side of it. Now, I do think he's very valuable because he's giving you the 2-for-1, but I don't think he's ever going to rush the passer the way a Micah Parsons does. Nor do I think he's ever going to round out into being a top-level inside linebacker. Maybe that's a little more likely, but I don't know. To me, he's just going to be good at both. I have some real hesitancy about him being a future star. I'd still take him probably at the back end of the top 20. I don't think I could go higher than that. I know that most places have him going higher than that, and I know that some places think he's a top 10 guy. After really digging into this, I just kind of I thought it'd be a little bit better. I thought there would be higher potential here. Part of me kind of feels like he might not really be all that effective as an edge rusher in the NFL and may end up spending a lot of his time at inside linebacker. Maybe he slides outside on third downs only, but I'm not even convinced about that. All right. Let me know what you guys think. It's a very prolific 1-2 punch, right? I'm not the biggest fan of Jalon Walker after having some time to think about it, but he's certainly prolific. So let me know what you guys think about this crew. I will see you guys later today. Go Hawks. More videos coming. Those are your top 2 edge rushers, but we're not done with the top 15 yet.